Como veis, Maple Ridge está en la provincia de British Columbia, muy cerquita de la ciudad de Vancouver. Entonces, vamos a comenzar con la presentación de Maple Ridge. Tricia, I hope and guess you are there. Thank you. And let me... there we go. So, welcome, Tricia. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I was listening very carefully to your introduction, Jaime, because I'll be careful to focus on the things maybe you didn't talk so much about, but thank you for having me. Thank you to Jaime and CLS. We have a valued partnership together, and I really appreciate the invitation to attend today and tell you a little bit about the Maple Ridge Pitt Meadows International Program.
Yes, we do have a very good partnership, and I know we have many students in the past and currently there who are very, very happy with their experience. Así que let me do a very short translation in the meanwhile. Bueno, Tricia nos va a hablar sobre Maple Ridge, que es un distrito escolar que conocemos muy, muy bien. De hecho, hemos tenido varios estudiantes allí a lo largo de los últimos años y tenemos allí actualmente. Y sí que nos ha adelantado que va a intentar enfocarse en las cosas que yo no he hablado ya previamente, pues para no aburriros.
So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about our program. I'm Tricia. As mentioned, I'm the principal of the program, and I'm also the legal custodian for the majority of our students. So it's nice to meet you today, and hopefully you'll consider studying with us in the future. You saw on the map of Canada that we are located on the west coast of Canada in southern British Columbia. And the map you see on the screen now shows you a zoomed in version of the green area of Maple Ridge and Pitt Meadows. So you can see how close we are to the larger city of Vancouver. We are located about 45 minutes by car from Vancouver. But we live in a bit of a smaller community, safe community, beautiful outdoor activities in our area. We're known for our picturesque beauty in British Columbia. We have a wonderful climate, 4 distinct seasons. And you can see some of the pictures here I'm sharing. The lake you see there is Alouette Lake. That's about a 10-minute drive from my house. And then there's a park in the bottom right there, and that's in the central area of Maple Ridge.
Vale, bueno, pues Tricia nos resume un poco el área geográfica que engloba Maple Ridge. Bueno, ya os adelanto yo que incluye dos municipios, Maple Ridge and Pitt Meadows. Aproximadamente es un área de unos 110,000 residentes y está a unos 45 minutos en coche de la ciudad más grande de la zona, que es Vancouver. Todo ese área tiene un muy, muy buen clima durante todo el año, con lo cual pues, pueden estar haciendo actividades prácticamente en todas las estaciones. Como podéis ver aquí, pues hay un lago muy, muy pintoresco y muy chulo, muy cerquita de la zona, y el parque entiendo que es más grande del área.
Thank you. I'll just, we don't have to stay long on this slide, but this is a map that's published by our City of Maple Ridge Tourism. So you can see how many lakes, rivers, outdoor activities are in the top left corner there that students have access to. We're very close to the mountains. So you have a beautiful view of the Golden Ears Mountains from where we are, but we also have access to close to the beaches and the ocean as well, not far away.
Bueno, pues es como os ha comentado Tricia, en este mapa tenéis, es un mapa publicado por la Oficina de Turismo de la Municipalidad. Y bueno, como podéis ver, hay varios laguitos por la zona en la que se pueden hacer actividades acuáticas, ríos, y bueno, pues cada uno de los iconitos son las actividades que pueden disfrutar, y no está lejos tampoco de la costa, de las playas, que bueno, pues entended también que estamos en Canadá, el uso que le dan a las playas allí.
So I'll tell you a little bit about our school district now. Maple Ridge and Pitt Meadows share 6 high schools, and we have about 17,000 students from kindergarten all the way through to grade 12. The majority of the international students we welcome would come to us in high school, usually grades 8 through 12, and from Spain, usually in grades 10 or 11 from Spain. We have about 530 international students across the schools from 27 different countries.
How many
So
international students for high school out of the total population?
470 this year for high school. We have a
400.
very, yeah, 470.
And out of how many in total?
Well, I would say about 6,000.
So normally the ratio for each school would be how many international students versus local students?
It ranges by school. There is a slide coming up, and when I introduce the school, I'll maybe share with you then, but we range from 40 through to 100 at each school site, depending on the school.
Okay.
Yeah, and our department's very experienced. We've been welcoming students from around the world for 25 years now. We have an in-house homestay program, so we look after everything for the student. You have to apply through CLS, and we look after the school experience, the medical insurance, and the homestay placement and support while you're with us.
Bueno, pues como podéis ver, un resumen del distrito escolar en sí, desde, claro, o sea, desde la educación más básica hasta grado 12, que es segundo de bachillerato, tienen 17.000 estudiantes, pero los estudiantes internacionales suelen ir en los grados 10, 11 y bastante menos 12, es decir, cuarto de la ESO, primero de bachillerato y segundo de bachillerato. En ese periodo tienen unos 470 estudiantes internacionales divididos en varios colegios, que son 6 colegios de secundaria, y limitan el número de estudiantes internacionales dependiendo del número total de estudiantes locales para que haya una buena proporción y tengan una experiencia de inmersión adecuada. Ellos mismos gestionan el programa de alojamiento de los estudiantes internacionales, no lo tienen externalizado a una empresa independiente y como os ha indicado Tricia, o sea, vosotros hacéis la inscripción a través de CLS y el distrito escolar se ocupa de todas las áreas del programa, académicas, alojamiento, documentación, notarización de las notas, etcétera.
And here's our schools coming up that I mentioned. We'll take a really quick look at each school as you're able to click through, Jaime, and just show the schools should be able to drop down when you click. But the first school is Pitt Meadows Secondary, and there's about 70 international students at that school. It's the only school that's located in the Pitt Meadows community. The following 5 schools are all located in Maple Ridge. And they range in location and community, immediate community, but they're all very close to services, bus routes. It's no problem to get around to and from school. Samuel Robertson is the second school, and we only place 40 students at that school. So if you're looking for more of an integrated experience, Canadian experience, that might be a great school for you. Thomas Haney is in the middle, Westview in the top right, and Garibaldi bottom left, and Maple Ridge Secondary, I'll finish, that's our largest high school, and we welcome 100 students from the international program to this high school.
Okay, Tricia, normally which is the maximum Spanish speaker students that you accept on each school? I know depending on the size.
It depends on the year and the interest. It does range. I would say Westview Secondary, number 4, we do tend to have a few more Spanish students at this school
Because of
because,
soccer, I guess.
yeah, we have the basketball and the soccer academies at this school. They're very popular with Spanish students. So if you're considering that school, I recommend an early application because I will watch to make sure that we don't have too many Spanish-speaking students in one school. We like to make sure everybody is spread out across the school district. So you get a great experience and you're not overwhelmed with the number of students you can speak to in your home language. So.
Ok. Bueno, pues como podéis ver, el distrito engloba 6 colegios de secundaria, high schools. El único que está ubicado en el municipio de Pitt Meadows es Pitt Meadows Secondary. Bueno, nosotros en CLS creo recordar que hemos mandado estudiantes a absolutamente todos los colegios y os doy mi palabra que no hay ninguno que nos guste más o que hayamos tenido mejores o peores experiencias que en otros. Así que, en mi opinión, esto es un distrito escolar de un tamaño estupendo en el sentido de que no tiene un número abrumador de colegios en los cuales puede acabar el estudiante matriculado, sino que está muy controladito en estos 6. Estos Samuel Robertson, Thomas Haney, Westview, Garibaldi y Maple Ridge están en la municipalidad de Maple Ridge. El último es el más grande, sin duda, Maple Ridge. De hecho, esta foto es famosa porque es un distrito bastante, es un colegio bastante famoso por la zona. Y luego ya, pues de verdad que yo lo que os recomendaría, no os fijéis tanto en la pinta que tiene en el colegio, si es más moderno, más antiguo, está ubicado en una zona u otra, sino que os dejéis guiar por nosotros y por el distrito de cuál es el que mejor se adapta a lo que estáis buscando de experiencia para vuestro hijo o vuestra hija en función de su perfil. Porque aunque pueda ser que el que más nos encante sea este, porque es muy bonito o muy nuevo, pues a lo mejor este de aquí es el que va a tener una experiencia más provechosa por una razón o por otra.
And then I won't go through every detail on this slide, but I did want to mention that we are a linear school district, which is very attractive for Spanish students because that means you can enroll in 8 classes from September through till June. And you can see some of the course offerings on the left there. We know that Spanish students need to validate their program while they're with us. So we recommend 5 core academic classes. And then there's a range of elective options in athletics as well, which is sometimes very enjoyable for students who aren't used to having that type of programming with their school schedule. And they really do range. You can take art, cooking, photography, computer class, shop classes. There are many options. And then just in the other chart there, I've shown you, sometimes it's hard to choose which school. You're very welcome to let me recommend a school. I'm comfortable recommending. But if you have a specific interest or program, I've listed those there under the school so that you can see some of the things that are special or unique about each school.
Sí, pues bueno, como os podéis ver, en una sola diapositiva ha hecho un muy buen resumen de la oferta académica del distrito. Lo que veis a la izquierda suele ser lo más típico. Ya os digo yo que hay muchísimas más asignaturas optativas de las que Tricia ha puesto aquí por obvias razones y no demorarnos muchísimo tiempo, pero las más típicas son, pues, para poder convalidar, obviamente, eso es una cosa de la que nos ocupamos nosotros y supervisaremos que el estudiante elija bien sus asignaturas, pero inglés, matemáticas, unas ciencias naturales, tecnológicas o ciencias sociales, idiomas y luego algunas asignaturas optativas más relacionadas con las artes, con la tecnología, con los business, bueno, pues dependiendo del perfil del estudiante. Y como veis, hay programas concretos muy interesantes que imparten en colegios específicos. Como os podéis imaginar, algo bastante popular y que nosotros hemos utilizado en más de una ocasión es la Academia de Soccer, porque tenemos niños que quieren jugar al fútbol europeo europeo durante todo el año allí en Maple Ridge, y esto lo ofrece, por ejemplo, el colegio de Westview. Pero si, por ejemplo, queréis un programa más enfocado a las ciencias informáticas, ciencias STEM, pues esta Microsoft IT Academy lo imparten en todos o prácticamente todos. Inmersión en francés, academia de hockey. Bueno, como veis, hay mucha variedad. Buah, ¿veis?
Thank you. And then, of course, there are extracurricular activities and clubs that range by school and by season. If you prefer to play a sport for the full year, maybe academy is good for you. But otherwise, I've listed the fall sports, the winter sports. Right now, our schools are offering basketball, wrestling, curling, field lacrosse, gymnastics as winter sports. And each school doesn't offer every single sport. So it would be important for me to know what you love to do so I could make a good recommendation for you. And then every school too has a variety of clubs and activities that run after school, maybe at lunchtime, sometimes in the evening. And so there's also the community outside of school. If you're interested in, for example, competitive dance or continuing with violin lessons, something like that. The community also offers many opportunities for enrichment activities.
Yes, in my experience, we could make it work almost everything that you can imagine with our students in the past.
Yes.
Vale, bueno, pues aquí veis otro ejemplo maravilloso y bueno, y que os quedáis alucinados de la enorme variedad de clubs a los que se pueden estudiar los estudiantes dependiendo del cole que luego vayan a elegir. Pues aquí ya esto es un mundo, cada uno tiene sus inquietudes y sus aficiones. Y un apunte importante sobre los deportes, que no lo he mencionado al principio, a no ser que se apunten a una academia durante todo el año de un deporte en concreto, los deportes suelen ser estacionales, es decir, durante la temporada de otoño, que suele terminar pues ahora, bueno, no, un poco antes, a finales de noviembre, una cosa así, la temporada de invierno, que como veis suelen ser más cosas de interior, y la temporada luego de primavera. Hay veces que pueden jugar un deporte durante una o varias temporadas, perdón, durante 2 o incluso 3 temporadas, pero lo normal es que sea solo durante una temporada.
And I think, Jaime, you mentioned this in your introduction, so maybe we can skip this slide. I just really
Okey.
want to say that there are many people to support the students while they're with us, both in our program and at the school. There are many levels of support, should a student need some assistance or support in some way.
I can confirm that from my end.
Mhm. And then I just wanted to show you, sometimes we're asked, what does the school day look like? So this is an example of a schedule from Westview Secondary. You can see classes start at 8:30 in the morning and they finish at 2:40 in the afternoon. So there's quite a bit of time after school for social activities, homework. Maybe you just want to rest. Maybe you want to go to the gym and get a workout in before dinner. So the type of education is different in Canada as well. Our classes are very interactive. So it is challenging when you're learning and expressing yourself in English, but your teachers really do want to hear your opinion. They want to see that you're thinking about your learning. And so we really do have a bit more of an interactive environment where you're doing group work, projects. It's not all about memorizing facts and doing tests and quizzes. There are some tests and quizzes for sure, but we balance it with other activities.
Bueno, pues ha dado un resumen perfecto de cuál es el tipo de educación eh, y metodología que suelen llevar a cabo en Canadá en general y, por supuesto, en Maple Ridge, Pitt Meadows School District. Son clases muy interactivas en las que los estudiantes participan mucho, en los que hacen trabajos en grupo, en los que hacen presentaciones en público, debates, assignments y mucha menos carga memotécnica de memorizar datos, fórmulas, fechas, meterte una panzada a estudiar tremenda antes de los exámenes finales y luego soltarlo en los tests, como dice Tricia, en lo que te juegas todo por el todo en la nota final. Es mucho más benévolo con los estudiantes hormiguitas que llevan a cabo un trabajo continuo durante todo el semestre y luego, bueno, pues los tests no van a pillar, como decimos, están más bien diseñados para confirmar que los estudiantes han entendido las cosas que se han ido dando durante la clase, que han asumido bien los conocimientos, pero la mayor carga es interactiva. Y un horario tipo es muy parecido al instituto en España. Empieza a las 8:30 de la mañana y termina a las 2:40 de la tarde, con tiempo después pues, para hacer algún deporte, alguna actividad extraescolar o vida social que quieren hacer con los compañeros después de clase.
And I'll just touch very briefly on the homestay program because I see my time is getting close to wrapping up here. But I did want to reassure students and parents that we train, screen, and communicate often with our own community host families. We have 4 homestay coordinators who are accessible to students in the office or at the school. And there's a wide range of homestay family in Canada. We're a very multicultural country. So it's good to keep an open mind about what kind of family you might be placed with, because chances are they'll be very different from your friend's family. So just wanted to reassure you that we look after students. We try to make the best match with the family from the beginning. So as much as you can tell us about yourself on the application, our homestay coordinators look at all of that to try to make a really good match for the family style.
All students are assigned to a particular homestay coordinator, or they can reach the 4 of them when they need it?
So they're assigned to a particular coordinator, but if they prefer to speak in Spanish, we also have a programs coordinator, Paula, who speaks Spanish fluently. But their first point of access is their school homestay coordinator.
Okay, and normally that coordinator is it's located in a particular school, or they are like rotating to be able uh, to attend all students?
No, they're at a particular school. So let's say you are going to Garibaldi Secondary, your homestay coordinator would be Megumi. She's always at Garibaldi and at our office. And we are covered 7 days a week with homestay. So that if an emergency comes up on the weekend of some kind, we do have coordinators working on Saturdays and Sundays as well.
Ok, perfecto. Bueno, pues sobre su programa de alojamiento en familias, nos ha dado ya un apunte muy interesante que yo creo que nuestros invitados de Avon and Mainland and Simcoe County nos dirán algo más bien parecido. Tenéis que tener muy en cuenta que el perfil de familias anfitrionas en Canadá es muy, muy multicultural, o sea, no solo de origen anglosajón. Algo que para mí no es más que súper beneficioso, pero que, bueno, pues es importante que os avisemos porque a lo mejor en otros países o en otras zonas es algo más uniforme. Y bueno, como no podía ser de otra forma, pues todas las familias pasan un proceso muy exhaustivo de evaluación antes de ser confirmadas para participar en el programa, les pasan antecedentes penales, les visita la coordinadora local y todos los estudiantes cuando se inscriben se les asigna el Homestay Coordinator que sea de su zona o de su colegio, al que tiene acceso en horario escolar en el colegio o, por supuesto, los 7 días de la semana, las 24 horas del día, si hay algún tipo de emergencia.
And I think I'll try to end with this slide, Jaime, so I can respect everyone else's time as well.
Okay.
If the student, I've mentioned there's lots of activities at school, in the community. Students often spend time with their host families, but we also offer monthly trips for our students
Uh-huh.
in case you want to go see something really special while you're here as well, and you might not otherwise get the opportunity. So we take students on the ferry boat over to Victoria on the island. We go skiing. We take them out on kayaking trips or winter trips. We just went to the Vancouver Canucks hockey game, which was very exciting. Unfortunately, they did not win, but it was close. And then we offer some ski trips and an overnight 4-night trip to the Rocky Mountains in spring break in March. So there's lots to do while you're with us.
It's very, very interesting. Are there any more local activities run by the international program that are free of cost, or all of them are with an extra charge?
These ones have an additional charge because we partner with our tour company, and
Okay.
it's a very well organized, efficient type of trip. But there are many local activities that you can participate in too that don't cost anything. For example, at Halloween, we have a pumpkin patch here, and you can just go spend 2-3 hours at the pumpkin patch wandering through the displays, and there's lots to do there. It doesn't cost anything unless you want to buy a pumpkin. Maybe you want to go ice skating here. That would be a very low cost to do something like that. I think it's about $3 entry into the ice rink and for rentals of skates. So there's many low cost options as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Bueno, como podéis ver, el distrito, el programa internacional del distrito, ofrece varias actividades, bueno, pues un poco más de larga duración, desde prácticamente desde que llegan, desde primeros de octubre hasta el final, hasta el mes de junio, que se pueden unir libremente. Son completamente opcionales, tienen un coste adicional porque lo hacen a través de de una empresa externa que es profesional en ello, y muchos estudiantes de intercambio del distrito escolar se apuntan porque es una oportunidad muy buena para conocer más allá del área donde vive el estudiante, hacer actividades diferentes y, bueno, pues hacer un poco más de piña con los estudiantes internacionales. Ok, no sé, Antonella, si tenemos alguna pregunta de alguno de los asistentes para Tricia, o ha quedado todo bien claro. Okay, Teresa, so everything was super, super clear. We don't have any questions from the attendees. Thank you so much for your very, very nice presentation that we will use for any student that would be interested in the program. And hope to talk to you very, very soon about next season. We actually we enrolled one student right today for your district,
Oh,
just to let
wonderful.
you know.
Thank you.
Yes, just
Thank
today
you.
arrived a few hours.
That's probably what I'll do now is go process that application for you. But thank you so much for having me, and thank you to the 11 students or families who attended today for listening, and hope to see you in Maple Ridge and Pitt Meadows.
Thank you so much, Trish. Have a very good day ahead. Let's go.